Hello and welcome back to Pokémon Colosseum. With a side of Pokémon Ultra Sun. Where today we are going to be probably actually finishing the Pokémon Colosseum story, considering we are no longer at a level deficit versus its final boss. And we will improbably be finding us a shiny thing. Terrakion, that's the thing. Let me just get my controllers in the right hands. There we go. Alright, we're off to a not shiny start, which is far and away the most likely outcome, but hey. Off we go to Realgum Tower. Hey there, Outlander. And yes, I was right that Lance wasn't last. Probably for the exact reason that I speculated. But we'll find that out tonight. I'm not a Lance guy myself, but I will say I noticed a couple new things that made me happy for Lance users. Like, hey, the two things Lance is known for is hopping and poking. I mean, aside from shields. And now it can hop and poke at the same time! Okay, so in here is where our last save had been before the final boss trounced us. It is where our save shall be again. Yeah, Outlander, it wasn't just sidestepping between attacks, it was sidestepping during attacks. And also, it looks like it got all kinds of new counters. We've already read all this, I'm not doing it now. So, something we learn here. Team Snag'em was just thieves before the snag machines were given to them. Wes, our protagonist, is a former member of Team Snag'em who stole the snag machine. Did he join before they got snag machines? Is Wes just a regular thief? I mean, Wes being just a regular thief would explain why he's so willing to just steal clearly boxed up items from other people's buildings. Like, in most Pokemon games, oh yeah, that's just a Pokeball on the ground that has an item in it. Someone must have dropped it, finders keepers. In Pokémon Colosseum, they are boxes that you have to open and then you just leave there empty? Is different. You're not removing trash from the ground or anything to that effect. You are actually stealing items. Miss. Typhlosion's not gonna like that. Let us once again attempt to put the Hariyama to sleep while we swap the Typhlosion out for Espeon. Also, in case we do find the shiny Terrakion, I do have a second shiny lined up. Well, not shiny, a second legendary lined up. So we will once again be able to just swap game cards to continue the hunt. Let's try putting Skarmory to sleep. Now, if memory serves, the last time we fought this guy, he had his Skarmory kill itself. So I should just throw balls. Also, I should go buy more balls. But I suppose now isn't exactly the time, and it's a long walk back, so let's not go buy balls? You know, between this music with its heavy emphasis on piano, as well as the sound of sleep powder, like, well, actually not as well. It's the sound of sleep powder sounds remarkably like the sound of a rocket firing in GoldenEye 64. Like, it doesn't have the same ending to it, but it's got some of the same vibe to it. I feel like it might be at least from the same, or it might contain the same stock sound effect in there somewhere. And just the GoldenEye one layers a little bit more on the end to make it sound more like a rocket. And with the piano and the music. Like, GoldenEye had piano in a lot of its music, so it clicked for me there. We'll get to hear it again shortly. Just a... There's always just some sound effects from stock libraries that you'll always notice every single time once they've been used for something iconic in one game. Like, I have, on multiple occasions, noticed the generic animal roar that they used for Boomas and PSO in other games. The last time we fought this guy, his Skarmory killed itself, and this time it's not even trying. Which, I mean, I guess is for the better, but also means we're throwing Pokeballs at a full HP Skarmory. You know what? We can reduce its HP a little. You know, I knew it wouldn't do much, but I expected maybe a smidge more than that. Let's throw a Pokeball with Jumpluff. And this thing should survive a Psychic. You know, Skarmory is one of those Pokemon with an interesting Japanese name. Because, like, for Skarmory, we've got Sky Armory. That's what his name is. It's Sky Armory. In the Japanese name, Eamudo. At least I think it's Eamudo. Memory serves, but, it's air-armed. So it's armed. Which would be a very silly name if that's what we used in English. Despite the fact that it is literally English words that they used for the Japanese name. Just imagine if I was trying to catch an armed right now. Yeah. Sky Armory versus Air Armed. It actually really bugs me when subs for shows like Pokemon that are, you know, based on a game that has an official localization. When the subs don't use the officially localized names for things, it bothers me. Because, like, we're reading in English. Sure, the dialogue's in Japanese, but we are reading English. Why would they not use the English names? It's not like they're hard to look up. Freaking Monster Hunter Stories Ride On, the Monster Hunter Stories anime, also did that for, like, the first 3 to 5 episodes, if memory serves, where it used the Japanese names for the monsters. But then it actually swapped after that, because I guess they remembered, hey, wait, this is a franchise that exists in English. It has official localized names, and we can reference and use them. I don't remember whether or not Reflect has gone down, but it looks like it has. It is theoretically possible for this Skarmory to actually stay in a Pokeball, just for the record. I feel like I'm having a harder time getting this thing to stick than I have getting either of the Swords of Justice to stay in a Lux Ball. Got 3 shakes. Yeah, I get that watching a show in Japanese is a different experience than watching a dub. I'm just saying, when there is an official localized term for something, use the localized term. Like, it's just that simple. If you are not the primary localizer of a thing, you have to respect the existing localizations, at least when it comes to terminology. Like, you can retranslate sentences for a different vibe. That's totally acceptable. And, like, you don't gotta adjust things too far. Like, you don't have to officially call all rice balls jelly-filled donuts. But if there's a localized name, use the localized name. At least if it's something like a character in a franchise that shows up a lot. Like, on the one hand, I will get upset if I ever see someone wandering around with, let's see, what's a good one? Oh, let's just say, Ash's Mijumaru. His Oshawott. Like, that's one thing. Like, if you're watching Pokemon anime, and it's like, oh, Satoshi sent out his Mijumaru. It's like, no, that's an Oshawott. And that's Ash, even though Ash is nothing like Satoshi. But then there's other characters where it's like, actually, even for Ash, like, I guess this is a bit of a double standard, but when, like, they take a character name and just completely make up an entirely new name just to make it sound like it's not a game or not an anime from Japan, set mostly in Japan, at least for the first couple generations. Wait, no, that's Karma's Awakening. Like, that's one thing. But then, like, the Pokemon names. Those are universal across the franchise. It's not just an anime thing. Whereas all the anime original characters, like, I don't care if they keep their original Japanese names or not. But the Pokemon that exist in the games across many, many, many releases now, those names are set in stone and should be used. Anime original things, use whatever the heck name you want. But things from the games are set in stone. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Again, Skarmory, I will remind you, it is possible for you to just stay in this Pokeball. Why is Skarmory harder to catch than Cobalion? I think part of my aversion to just transliterating the names for things that have established localizations is the fact that I have translated, I've subtitled many anime series myself, like professionally for a job, for money, officially paid to do it. And the direction I was given was always, for a property that the anime is not the original thing, and if it's already had a localization, 100% of the time we are supposed to reference the existing localization when it comes to names and stuff like that. The names are the only things we have to respect, but we do have to respect them. And in cases where there were... One of the series I translated, there was one character whose name was rendered differently in every single localized work. Like, there was a manga, a light novel, a regular novel, and there was also, like, some anime OVAs or something, and every single one of them, this character's name was rendered differently. And in that case, I was told, go to the biggest fan wiki you can find for that series and use the name you found there. Just the thing that the most people are using is the one you go for. Of course, in that case, it wasn't a case of like, oh, the localized name is something completely changed from the original. It wasn't changed from, like, Yamada to Steve because, English-speaking kids don't recognize that there are names in other languages. It wasn't a case like that. It was a case of this was a character whose name was not Japanese. But since it's in katakana and it's also not an existing Western name, there's any number of ways you could transliterate it and still be technically correct. Or at least not incorrect. But, like, still, fact of the matter is, if there is established localized media for it, or a series, it was my job to use the established terms from the established localization. And whenever someone's subtitling a Pokemon anime and they use the Japanese Pokemon names, even though the English names have been available for literal decades, that just means they're not doing the work. They are not living up to the standards that I was required to live by. So I think it's that. I think it's professional disagreements. How many balls have I thrown at this Skarmory by now? I know the answer is too many. But I think it's gotta be like 30. Yeah, there's also the fact that, especially for Pokemon names and names in shows that have characters whose names are puns, if you don't localize those to the existing English names, or for the pun names if it's a new thing, like if you just transliterate them as is, you're doing the English-speaking audience a disservice by not translating the joke. Like, almost every Pokemon's name is a pun. That's how it is. It's a combination of other words, or it's something else. It's always something that actually has meaning. It's not just sounds for the sake of sounds. It has meaning. It was decided for a reason. And, like, sure, English names are like that too, like just people names. Like, for instance, my name, if you look at its root or its origin, it means rock. So, would you be doing a Japanese audience a disservice by calling me Rock? Yeah, probably. My parents weren't thinking, oh man, this guy, this baby we just had, he is all about rocks. That's what we want people to think of when they hear his name. We want them to think rock. But no, for Pokemon names, when we see Espeon, they want us thinking ESP. Eon. Like, it's the psychic evolution. Espeon. Jumpluff. It jumps and is fluffy. Like, these are deliberate names given to these things. And the Japanese names are deliberate names given to these things. And if you don't translate the names, or if you don't use the localized names that already exist, then you are removing that aspect of meaning from them for the audience. And the target audience, whenever you are localizing something into a different language, is people who speak the language you are writing, not the language they are listening to. Oh, we are out of sleep powder. Well, I guess it's time to move on to Thunderwave. And the games that I translate these days, the general philosophy is, when it comes to translating names, like, we're translating things that absolutely do not have existing localizations, so we're doing everything from scratch. But when we translate names, it's basically a case of leave the name as is, because that's just the name the character was given, unless it's an obvious pun. If it is obviously a pun, then we are to translate the pun as best we can. So, like, this one game that I worked on... No, I can't talk about that one yet. That's still NDA. Never mind. Dang, I need to think of an example that I can talk about. Is there an example that I can talk about? None that are coming to mind, but I know these things have happened, where I have translated the pun. Most of the games, once I finish them, I just move on to the next project. They don't stick in my mind that much. It would be really cool if this if this Skarmory actually stayed in a ball. Like, really cool. It'd be super cool. The coolest, even. Because we've been in this battle for what, like half an hour? Just throwing balls at this bird? One of them has to work, right? The answer is actually no, none of them has to work. But I want one of them to work. Come on. I need to still have Pokeballs for Metagross. Though admittedly, I'm going to be using Premier Balls as much as possible for Metagross, but still! On the subject, or back on the subject, I guess, of the Japanese names for things in Pokemon. One of the things that tripped me up to a surprising degree, despite how relatively insignificant it is, the fact that low kick and low sweep, finally! The fact that low kick and low sweep have their names swapped in Japanese relative to English. So in Japanese, the move named low sweep is the one that does more damage to heavier things. And the move named low kick is the one that slows things down. And, like, they're named with English words. So it's just a case of the names got swapped. Anyway, let's go heal up. And I guess we can leave and buy a bunch of Pokeballs. Unless... How much money do we have right now? Okay, we've got plenty of money. Also, wait a sec. Did that actually say... It does say Pokemon dollars. Amazing. Considering that, as I've said before, in the Japanese version of the Pokemon games, it's just yen. The Japanese currency. You know, the real life one. It's not Poke-yen. It's yen. Straight up. Not even being cute about it. Just a real world currency used in Japan. Yen. And yet here in the English version of this game, they actually wrote out in full Pokemon dollars. Not Poke dollars, Pokemon dollars. Hey, no, Outlander, no. Not Pokemon yen. Just yen. And if we want to get real technical, it's not even yen, it's N. We just, here in the West, we have added a Y to it because, well, some people misheard it way back when. Like, for example, Sanzen-en. Or Sanzen-en. Yeah, like, that's 3,000 yen. Nisen-en is how much I'm spending right now. And, yeah, that's... Some people, like, must have misheard the stop and just threw a Y in there. Maybe they threw a Y in there to make it easier to pronounce for Western mouths. I don't know. The point is, the Japanese word is just en, which means circle. Their currency is officially called circles. Because coins, guess what shape they are? They're circles. So these 10 Pokeballs plus 1 Premier Ball in the Japanese version of the game cost 2,000 circles. Also, the kanji used for yen is the kanji for circle. So, yeah, the Japanese currency is officially named circles. Gonna go till I've got just over 200 Pokeballs here. It's more than I have any hope of actually throwing, but gets us more Premier Balls, which I hope to catch the Metagross in a Premier Ball. Yeah, we've always had yen in the Japanese Pokemon games and Poké Dollars in the US Pokemon games. And the fact that they call it Poké Dollars has led to people making all sorts of memes that are just conceptually wrong. And they're like, oh yeah, you can buy a bottle of water for $50. No, it's for 50 Poké Dollars, which are not dollars. They are a different currency. Like, you can still say like, oh yeah, it's 50 of it, but it's not dollars. Like, you gotta look at what the general economy in the games is like to begin with. Like, A, healthcare's free, that's pretty cool. But B, sure, a bottle of water is $50 or 50 Poké Dollars, a Pokeball is 200 Poké Dollars. All of that, like the most basic stuff, costs what would be a surprising amount of currency to us if it was dollars. But then the first child you fight in the entire game is gonna be giving you like 128 Poké Dollars? That alone should tell you that, oh yeah, 50 Poké Dollars for a bottle of water isn't that much. It's not the equivalent of dropping $50 on a bottle of water, like 50 US dollars. It's not even remotely equivalent. Like, oh no, that bike costs $1 million. Oh, that better be one really sweet bike if it's $1 million. No. Stop it. Look at the context. Context matters. These are not US dollars. That is not a US dollar sign on the currency. No, that's a weird P with 2 lines through it, because they're not dollars. If you're gonna make a joke, it's gotta at least have a workable premise. Like, if the whole joke exists because you misunderstood something, it's not a funny joke. I mean, to be fair, a bike that costs 1 million yen is still like... still $10,000... well, not $10,000 anymore, not these days. But... at this point, it would be like a $6,000 bike, which is still pretty huge. But like, in the grand scheme of bikes, there are much more expensive ones out there. This is the Shadow Miltank, correct? Let's see if we can get all these Shadow Pokemon on the first go-round this time. Who knows? Let's put the Porygon to sleep and then burn it. Except in reverse order. Dang, that thing almost didn't live. that Miltank to sleep before it starts using rollout all over my poor Typhlosion. Or I guess we're not putting the Miltank to sleep, not yet. At least it's not using rollout yet. Okay, now that it's asleep, let's have Jumpluff use Giga Drain on it while we throw balls. Hopefully this Miltank's more cooperative than the freaking Skarmory was. Well, it didn't stay asleep for very long. Nice miss on rollout, though. Also interesting that it wanted to use rollout on the Jumpluff. But let's go ahead and get Espeon in here so that we can use Reflect. You know, we know evolution works differently in the Pokemon world than it does in our real world. At least to a degree. At least the concept of evolution between Pokemon species is certainly different. But then again, we also know that Pokemon species do have a common ancestor. In fact, we even know the name of specifically the common ancestor. Which is weird, considering we've also got ancient fossil Pokemon that went extinct millions of years ago, but we've still got Mew around. What? How does that work? I don't know. But it's what we've got to work with. But my question is, since we know that standard evolution does occur, as in generational change over millions of years. We know it occurs. So I'm wondering what the Tree of Life would look like in the Pokemon world. And are humans and Pokemon... Like, when do humans and Pokemon last share a common ancestor? Is what I'm wondering here. Because, like... if it's before Mew, well, then that throws a lot of things into question. But then again, also, this is a game that has had multiple origins of life, depending on which game's lore you believe. Like, in this game, Pokémon Colosseum, Mew is the common ancestor of all Pokemon because it's got the DNA of all Pokemon in it, etc., etc. But then go one game later into Diamond and Pearl. Oh, nice, got the Miltank. And suddenly we've got an actual creation myth that, as far as we know to this day, is literally correct. So, like, yeah, who knows? But then again, there's also that one book in Canalave Library that's like, oh yeah, there was a time when you couldn't really tell the difference between humans and Pokemon. So, like, questions. But all of this is to say that in the real world, phylogenetically, humans are fish. Does that make us water types? Not necessarily. Does it put us in the fish egg group? Apparently not. Especially because there's no fish egg group. It's like water 1. But still, phylogenetically, humans are fish. Unless you want to say that either sharks are not fish or trout are not fish. For both sharks and trout to be fish, it means humans have to be fish, because you cannot evolve out of a clade. That was a Shadow Absol, right? Yeah, it's got the border on it. I can see that. So, let's try putting that to sleep. And burn the Mighty Ina. But if humans in the real world are fish, does that mean humans in the Pokemon world are Pokemon? And more importantly, are they Pokemon descended from a Pokemon in the Water 1 egg group? Actually, it's probably best not to talk about humans in terms of egg groups, but it's just... I'm making a joke, is all I'm doing here. A joke that is better than one that says, oh, look at water in the Pokemon universe. It costs $50. Nah, a bottle of fresh water being 50 yen, that's a freaking steal. I remember back when I was living in Japan, I bought bottled water almost every day, because, like, if I'm out and about, water is important. I wanted to have a source of it with me. And, like, my decisions when it came to buying water, there's the regular-sized water bottles, you know, just the ordinary ones. When you think of a water bottle, that size. Those ones are 100 yen. For an extra 50 yen, you can get like a 1.5 liter water bottle. Which, hey, that's a good deal. It's like twice the amount of water for less than twice the price. But then, for 100 yen again for some reason, you could get a 2-liter water bottle. So those are what I went for, because like, oh yeah, it's heavier, it's harder to carry around and all that, but you get so much more water for the same price as a standard water bottle, it would be stupid not to go for it. I think... let's go ahead and Giga Drain one more time. Or let's not, because I'm out of Giga Drains. That's right. We don't get heals between battles either, so I'm gonna have to use not Giga Drain anymore. Okay. Let's just throw a ball. and call it good. But yeah, anyway, if I was able to buy just a regular bottle of water in Japan for 50 yen, I probably would have. Okay, Jumpluff, put it back to sleep. I wonder, what do we have with regards to PP restoration? It looks like it's only 3 elixirs, and that's all we've got. Or nope, 3 elixirs and 2 ethers. Okay, we're good. We'll be able to last through this set of trainers. Ouch. That did a surprising amount of damage. You better not miss with this sleep powder, Jumpluff. And just because I can't really afford for you to miss, I'll use one of my hyper potions just in case, even though it's a huge waste if you don't miss, because then I could just... Okay, it did miss. So it was not a waste. Surely I will not hit the 1 in 64 chance of missing again. I hit the 1 in 64 chance of missing 3 times in a row, and it cost me a Jumpluff. Right, it's doing so much damage because it used Swords Dance. Well, let's swap Ampharos out for something a little bulkier. And in the meantime, let's just hope one of these Pokeballs works before this thing eats through my entire party. Like, sure, it's an Absol, and it's something that I can just get in Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire. Or Emerald. But, like, it's a Shadow Pokemon, and if I want to get the Ho-Oh from this game, I kind of need to catch it and purify it. Almost. There we go. It's honestly kind of rude of them to make us go through so many battles in a row with no chances to heal in between when they've all got a shadow Pokemon that you want to capture. Because taking the time to capture a shadow Pokemon means that you're going to be spending more turns in the battle, which means they get more of an opportunity to deal damage to you. And it's just... it's rude! Heal us between the battles, please! Alright, so that's a Shadow Houndoom if memory serves. So let's try to put the Houndoom to sleep before Jumpluff gets burnt to a crisp. We'll swap to Quagsire, because he can actually handle these two things. I was kind of expecting the Torkoal to use a fire move, but okay. Crit super effective Sludge Bomb still gets rid of the Jumpluff. Espeon is a risk here. But it's a risk I'll take. Surf shouldn't kill Houndoom. Unless Houndoom's a lot frailer than I think. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And goodbye, Magcargo. Never got a turn. Never even got to choose a move. Because of the way this game handles its things being honestly kind of rude. If knocking out a Pokemon in a double battle made a switch happen instantly in the middle of a round in modern VGC, I doubt Pokemon Competitive would have gotten nearly as big as it has. It would have been atrocious. It certainly makes sacrificing Pokemon not a strategy anymore. At that point, you might as well just switch. Because then you get to keep the Pokemon that would have been knocked out. And the Pokemon you switch in takes pretty much just as much damage. And that's a Shadow Tropius, if memory serves. Sure is. Let's get the heck rid of this Cradilly. Nice crit. Let's see what pops up in its place and whether it's weak to fire. Sure is. Tropius using Fly. So Typhlosion will... No, not the Tropius. Typhlosion will burn the Cacturn, while Espeon uses Reflect to make that Fly matter less. So it is going for the Espeon slot. That means we... Right. Jumpluff is still not here. Shame I can't choose Espeon's turn first. Because I want to put Jumpluff in the Typhlosion slot. And if I could use a revive with Espeon first, then I could do that. But instead, what if I Smokescreen and then for Espeon? Well, that'll just end my turn if I have Espeon reviving. Okay, here's the plan. Typhlosion revives it and then we just put it in the Espeon slot. It won't matter that much. Matters a little. So Typhlosion will use a Hyper Potion on Jumpluff. It occurs to me Jumpluff could have just used Synthesis, but oh well. Jumpluff will use an Ether on Sleep Powder. Excuse me. Swapping out Typhlosion for someone who can do a little damage without any real risk of killing the thing. I knew it wouldn't do much, but I expected at least a little more than that. Okay, our Reflect is gone, which is a little unfortunate. But it doesn't matter too much. There's no way Tropius is going to one-shot our jump left with a fly. And I'm thinking one more bite is totally safe. Flinch? Nope. Just call to Umbreon so it doesn't waste any PP for anything. Once again, eventually, it will stay in the ball. Swapping back over to Espeon so I can use Reflect again. Of course, we have now entered the most exciting stage of the battle. Oh, look at that, it's got Synthesis. I shouldn't be surprised. That's kind of annoying. Another return. Shouldn't kill it. Another return won't even happen. All right. Take that, Stawn. Time for Nasty Heart. doing his best Riku cosplay. Seriously, why does he not get music? It's so weird. So weird how this game has decided that the higher the stakes of the battle, the less music there should be. Like, if there is any battle in this game that should have music, it's this one, right? Yeah, clearly what's going on here is this is a case of Kezu syndrome. They want this fight to be unsettling, so there's no music. The problem is, a Kezu this man ain't. As much as I could play a Kingdom Hearts boss battle music in the background, I've been burned enough by the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack that I am not going to risk copyright strikes for it, even though I know the battle music is totally fine. It's the non-battle music that's a problem. But still... Let's bring in Espeon. Why wait until now to use X specials? Like, for one, you used it on a sleeping Gardevoir. And for two, this Blaziken's gonna get removed. Alright, neither X special has meant anything at all. Okay, never mind, he's still got a Hyper Potion. His Gardevoir's X special can still matter. Never mind. Unless he's got another Hyper Potion. Really? Attract? What an attractive walrus that is. Alright, Espeon, I'm going to need you to work through it. Good. Outlander, that sounds like agony. Makes me glad I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Alright, there's my boy. Or at least what is going to be my boy in the future. My future boy. My boy in Potentia. Using Reflect just to reduce Metagross's offensive potential. Alright, looks like he's just gonna let my Umbreon have that Xatu. And now, let's break out Quagsire? Yeah, it just dramatically raised its defense, so... Or sharply raised it, I guess. So, Quagsire will be a good choice for whittling the Metagross down at least a little bit. And yeah, they're just uncontested, letting me have that Xatu. Okay, so Metagross has Iron Defense, Shadow Rush. I think it's got Meteor Mash. And what else does this particular Metagross know? Also, I need to not whittle it down too much because it's a Metagross and has a Metagross catch rate, while also having Shadow Rush. So I think that's probably the last damage that I deal to it myself. Psychic. Okay. Meteor Mash, Psychic, Shadow Rush, Iron Defense. No time like the... Wait, I'm supposed to be throwing Premier Balls. I still can. So if I throw this Premier Ball, but then with Quagsire, I swap those, I believe it still throws the Premier Ball, but decrements the Pokeball count. Which, yes, is cheating. But it's not as bad of cheating as it would be if I was throwing a Master Ball and decrementing Pokeball count. It did not decrement the Pokeball count, I don't think. I think that was already at 83. So wait, how do I do this? Because it did throw a Premier Ball. So we've got 37 and 83. Keep those numbers in mind. Oh, it doesn't decrement either one. That's even better than I thought. And also even more cheating than I thought. So yeah, let's just swap with Great Balls because it's faster. And let's heal Quagsire because it absolutely is not surviving another move. Also, look at that. The rare Hyper Potion not actually bringing us to full HP. The pre-nerf Hyper Potion not bringing us to full HP, no less. Oh, wow, that was fast. I will accept that. Why is Metagross easier to catch than Skarmory? I didn't even need to cheat my Premier Balls. For us to go through that entire battle with no music and then this to be the next thing we hear. This game is ridiculous. Seriously, though, how did this man learn to fly? And also, why does his belly get bigger and make his shirt start pulling at its buttons when he does this transformation? Like, his shirt wasn't open like that before he did his dramatic transformation. Why did his belly get bigger? I don't understand anything about this man. Is his opener just random? Every time we fought him, he started with different Pokemon in front. Okay, Jumpluff, we are going to keep in back. Espeon should be a fairly safe switch here. And Typhlosion, we are going to swap out for Ampharos. That's a less safe switch, but I don't want to leave Typhlosion in front of that Slowking. Actually, no, not Umbreon. Not in front of a Machamp. Yeah, Outlander, this is a guy we talked to exactly once in the story. And the only hint that he was the secret leader of Cypher is that, ooh, the first time we saw Mr. Nasty Heart, he was coming out of the mayor's office. This is absolutely a case of a twist that they did no setup work for, and we have no reason to really care about. So that should be goodbye to Machamp. Good. Slacking already. That's a little scary. Doesn't help that we just hit ourselves in confusion. Espeon, you can take this, right? Yeah, you can take that. And you can outspeed a Slacking, right? Ooh. Reflect. Getting Reflect set up would be actually very good for us moving forward. Light Screen might also not be the worst. Okay, he's using X attack on the Slacking. We do not like this. He's also using X attack on the Slowking, which is less bad, but then again, the Slowking is using Shadow Ball on our Espeon, so we still don't appreciate that X attack. And of course, Ampharos can't do a thing. Okay, let's go ahead and put some Psychic all over that Slacking. And Ampharos, I do want that Light Screen. Okay, I was really hoping to do more than that, but oh well. Using an item on Slacking counts as taking its turn? Okay, that Slacking is a complete non-threat because he decided to use X attack on it. Okay. So what Slowking has just done is take away its own next turn for 0 benefit to Slacking, because Slacking is going down right now. Of course, if I don't take care of Slowking very quickly, then we have the issue of, uh-oh, it's going to put Truant on one of my Pokemon. But we're faster than it, and Ampharos is going to take it out on its next move. I think swap Espeon out for Typhlosion at this point. And get rid of Slowking before it can give us Truant. Seriously, the moment he used that X attack on the Slowking, I was fully expecting him to go all out and just Shadow Ball my Espeon and get rid of it. Like, the fact that he's programmed to use 2 X attacks on the same turn did not help him here. Alright, let's delete this Scizor from existence. Ampharos will return for Quagsire, because Quagsire is our Salamence response. Yeah, it is kind of interesting that Silver Wind only hits 1 target. Usually you expect things with wind in the name to hit 2 things. Okay, Shadow Tyranitar is not ideal. Especially not after our Reflect is gone. Let's get rid of the sand, because that'll keep it from ever coming back as well. I used Ice Beam on the wrong target. I'm a fool. I was braining about Tyranitar. So my hands went for Tyranitar. But it looks like I might not be punished for that too badly. Wow, even Typhlosion lived. Okay, yeah, not punished. Hey, guard, I'm doing fine. Hope you are too. I caught Metagross more quickly than I caught freaking Skarmory. Okay, Typhlosion. I think we just sacrifice. Yeah. Maybe we can try a dig on Tyranitar. Just be cheeky. And now we actually put Ice Beam on the Salamence. Alright, digging with Typhlosion was the right call. And Salamence down. It is amazing what an extra, like, 10-15 levels and the presence of an Ice Beam can do for your ability to get rid of a Salamence. Oh, Tyranitar, I'm so tired. You should be too. Yeah, it turns out all that I needed to do to make this fight so much easier was actually engage with the rest of the content in the game. I didn't have to repeat anything. I mean, I guess technically I did repeat the Colosseums, but they were all unique experiences because I didn't do any repeat runs. I did each of the 4 available runs for each Colosseum. That's what I did. And here we are. Made a world of difference. Engaging with the content. And sure, it felt like I was grinding on Mount Battle, but technically I wasn't grinding. I was just engaging with the content. Legit kind of surprised the Tyranitar used Shadow Rush instead of, like, Crunch or something. And now, Espeon we will swap out for Jumpluff for quicker access to sleep. Quagsire will stay here because he's nice and bulky. And we will throw balls. Even if they did swap the catch rates of Tyranitar and Metagross... Don't freeze. Don't freeze. Good. Even if they did swap the catch rates of Tyranitar and Metagross, I still caught that Metagross super fast. And that Skarmory super slow. Had to throw like 40 balls at the Skarmory. It sucked. Aw, you missed with the sleep powder. You're giving it another chance to freeze you. Don't freeze. Don't freeze. Good. I wonder how terrible the stats on my Metagross are going to be. I won't have any way of checking for a while, but I'm sure it'll have like a 0 in attack and be, I don't know, modest. Nah, it won't be modest. It'll be timid. That's what it'll be. And Quagsire deserves a little bit of a pick-me-up. Outlander, if memory serves, the earliest we can improve a Pokemon's IVs is Sun and Moon. And it's got to be level 100 for that in Sun and Moon. So the answer is not for a long time. We can't change natures until, I believe, Sword and Shield. So we're stuck with what we've got for a good long while. Thankfully, Metagross is good enough that it's not going to matter too much. Has Tyranitar used all 4 of its moves yet? We've seen Shadow Rush, Blizzard, and Rock Slide. Those ones I remember. I don't think we've seen the 4th move. Don't freeze. This thing has hit Jumpluff with every Blizzard. It's kind of ridiculous. Thankfully, it's going to run out of Blizzards eventually, because unlike Gen 1, opponent Pokemon do in fact have PP in this game. It continues, having hit Jumpluff with every Blizzard. And poor Quagsire is frozen, but Quagsire ain't Jumpluff, we can live with that. Quagsire is allowed to T-pose all he wants. Joke's on you, Outlander. Egg moves you don't gotta breed for anymore. So breeding really is not a thing. Unless you're trying to get a 0 in any IV. That said, I still like to do it, because, you know, it just makes the Pokemon feel more mine if I didn't find it out in the wild. If I was responsible for its creation, it feels more like it's mine. Yep, Quagsire's not listening. Too busy T-posing. Okay, looks like we are out of blizzards. Just watching a rock fall on a T-posing Quagsire is kind of silly. I wish I had an X defense. Then I'd be able to go, like, 2 hits between heals. When we were going through the Shadow Pokemon Lab, and after we had had a chance to, or had caught, all 3 of the Shadow Legendary Beasts, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, we were told that we were too late. They had already created the ultimate Shadow Pokemon. I doubt the ultimate Shadow Pokemon was supposed to be Skarmory, though in terms of how many balls I throw, it might end up being the ultimate one. Tyranitar might give it a run for its money, though. But, it's definitely not the Houndoom, it's not the Absol, it's not the Tropius, it's not the Miltank. So apparently, over the Shadow Legendary Beasts, either Metagross or Tyranitar is considered the ultimate Shadow Pokemon. Now, for me, I would say it's Metagross, but this game seems to be implying that Tyranitar is the ultimate Shadow Pokemon. You just can't have a Shadow Pokemon better than Tyranitar, according to this game. Part of me wants to lower its health a little more. But considering one of the moves that we know it has does recoil, and we have no way of improving its HP situation, yeah, we're better off just throwing balls as is. And sure, I could throw better Pokeballs. I don't want to. We're getting it in a standard Pokeball. The only thing that gets to be special is Metagross, because Metagross is the only thing that is special. Yeah, Outlander, back when this game came out, yes, Tyranitar was pretty dang cool. But I remember Metagross being the one that people were all talking about, like, oh, using Metagross on your team is practically cheating. It's just way too good. I mean, that typing, it's immune to almost every... Well, not immune. It resists almost everything. Its only weaknesses are ground and fire. And its stats are just so good. And you can't even lower its stats because clear body. So clear. Good job avoiding that rock slide, Quagsire. Something tells me Tyranitar was not particularly trying there. Yeah, I'm not surprised Tyranitar's got the lowest catch rate of all the Shadow Pokemon, but we're still gonna get it. 10? Aw, that's better than a standard Metagross catch rate. It's a shame crit captures don't exist until Gen 5. But also, I don't need them. Told you 10 was fine. No, even my ultimate Pokemon. Okay, so Tyranitar is the ultimate Pokemon. Got it. Halt! Stop where you are. There's no getting away this time. Cypher's finished. The Shadow Pokemon plan ends now. Rui, are you all right? Pikachu noises. Blast you! Don't you forget what you've done, Redmond. It won't end this way next time. I will ruin you the next time. I promise you that. No, he's trying to escape with that helicopter. Wah-ha-ha! Let us meet again. Our bid to take over the world using Shadow Pokemon hasn't ended yet. Well, gee, that sounded like a ho-oh. Your plan, I think it just ended. What? Evice, you and your cronies are under arrest. Oh, what is that? Aw, gee, it's a ho-oh. Why did ho-oh stop him? Who knows? It's a legendary Pokemon. It's a ho-oh. It is. It really is a ho-oh. It's incredible. It must have been keeping an eye on your heroics from the sky above. You obviously earned its support. Of course, it would also never allow criminals to get off scot-free. Not when they're guilty of an outrage like creating Shadow Pokemon. Oh, wow. So ho-oh was watching over us. Redmond, I guess it's finally over. We faced a lot of challenges, but thanks to you, Redmond, everything has been resolved. Redmond, thank you. You were strong. You answered the call. And you were cool. Look at that! Ho-oh is so close! So true. This is the first time I've seen one up so close. But it's not the first time I've seen one at all, apparently. I've seen them before, definitely. Rui and Redmond, the ho-oh is blessing you for your victory. Such a perfect outcome, yes indeed. And that ho-oh will be ours as soon as we capture and purify every Shadow Pokemon. Anyway, this game was not great. Is it the worst game I've ever played? No. Is it the worst Pokemon game I've ever played? I'd have to think about that. Does it have Metagross capturable in it? Yes. So I guess that automatically means it can't be the worst. I think the worst Pokemon game I've ever played is probably my Pokemon Ranch. Which can be argued to be a game. And not just a box. The worst part about my Pokemon Ranch is the fact that in Japan it got an update to make it compatible with Platinum, and they never localized that update for the US. Outlander, technically I don't need to get the Ho-Oh to accomplish my goals. I want to get it. But like, yeah, no, my only real goal for this game right here was get Metagross. That's the only requirement for my Ribbon Road from Pokémon Colosseum. I think I might also have to go to the top of Mount Battle again to get Ho-Oh. That would be a slog. So I think what we do is we use a Time Flute to purify Metagross just right away. And then I transfer that thing into Pokemon Emerald. And we continue the Ribbon Road. Actually, I guess I would have to play Emerald first, huh? Yeah. Still. Yes, I would like to save. Yes, I would like to save, and yes, I would like to overwrite the existing save. When I click save, I want the game to be saved. That's how it works. Outlander, the other Pokemon that are in the thumbnail that I want to get the purification ribbon for, are in Pokemon XD. Metagross is the only Pokemon in this game that I need. We, that's myself and Second Pyrite, developed a new system of downloading data automatically to your PDA. From now on, information about Shadow Pokemon should arrive directly from people connected to the network. Check it out. Okay. So if we look at this here snag list, I have failed to capture Remoraid and Stantler. And Bayleaf and Croconaw we haven't seen because we chose the Quilava. Anyway. Let's go purify our Metagross. Oh. No, not snag list. I want email. Big guy, there's trouble. The Kid Network got word that a suspicious-looking Pokemon was spotted in Pyrite. I'd like you to give you the full story in person, so can you come visit me? Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna choose not to get the Shadow Pokemon. We've still got time this stream. I'm not going to be moving over to Emerald this stream. I don't have the setup ready for that yet. So yeah, we're going to go around collecting more Shadow Pokemon. Purifying, on the other hand, is something I will do off-stream. Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing how XD is. I've never actually played it before. In fact, until like a couple months ago, like I think it was January, maybe February. Until earlier this year, I didn't even own a copy of it. But I picked it up knowing that at some point I would want to do things. Oh, hi guys, we just got some news. There's this rogue called Kale who hangs around Pyrite's entrance. It sounds like Kale recently battled this creepy trainer. They say that this trainer used some weird Pokemon. I think you should have a talk with Kale about this. Alright, let's go have a talk with Kale. So he wanted us to hear the details from him in person, and the details were, we heard some other guy battled a weird Pokemon trainer. Go talk to him instead. Wow, what a useful in-person meeting. Yo, we meet again. Huh? About the Shadow Pokemon? Oh yeah, I remember battling one, sure. I'd be willing to share what I know with you, but only if you can beat me. You ready? Seriously, guy? Like, actually, seriously? Well, he's definitely leveled up his team since, but something tells me he's not going to be our match. Okay, let's put the Gardevoir to sleep, and let's torch the Grand Bowl. Come on, burn. Oh. Of course it got the poison. Well, that should get rid of the Grand Bowl. We can torch the Gardevoir now. Oh. Hopefully, Jumpluff is still faster than the Grand Bowl. Otherwise, we're losing Jumpluff for nothing. Wait, no, we are not, because we probably use the Grand Bull's turn to X-speed the Grand Bull. Yeah, we're fine. Goodbye, Grand Bull. I do believe it is time to swap Jumpluff out. Let's bring in Umbreon. And Typhlosion will switch to Torching Shiftry. Yeah, Gen 2 was originally them, like, they were creating what in their mind would be the final perfect Pokemon games in Gen 2. But then, oops, the Pokemon franchise got huge, and they could not stop at that point. So we got Gen 3, which is... Gen 3 was their attempt to just improve on Gen 2 in every way, like... They wanted to have better visuals, better sound, better story, better everything. And also, they wanted to have more cool designs. Because Gen 2 got a little bit of flack for most of its designs being relatively cutesy. So yeah, Gen 3, they decided, hey, let's make Pokemon that look cool. And you know what? I think they succeeded with a lot of what they set out for on Gen 3. I mean, Pokemon Emerald is still one of the peak Pokemon games. As much as I would love it if we instead got Pokemon Zeta Emerald. or Delta Emerald, as the case may have been. Gen 4, the idea there was basically, hey, we've got this new technology to play with, let's do it, and give people Pokemon games with some 3D environments or whatever. Yeah, Gen 4, it was basically, yeah, we've got new technology, we can give people online play, online trading, and we can support some, at least, pseudo 3D environments. Let's do that. That trainer, he used a Shadow Croconaw. The trainer's name was... I forgot. He did say something about the Snag'em hideout, though. The Snag'em hideout? Why does... Oh, I've got a poison Pokemon. That's why the screen's flashing red. Just gonna go avail myself of the Pokemon Center thing here. So this is the Snag'em hideout. So where's Croconaw Man gonna be? Seriously, kid? Here I thought we'd be okay because Elevator Lady over there didn't try and stop me from using the elevator. Are we seriously gonna have to fight our way all the way through this stupid Snag'em hideout again? If so, we better be doing it for more than just Croconaw. Also, kid, evolve your Tailo. Still feel like Thunderbolt should be able to hit a flying target. In fact, it should be more likely to hit a flying target. Because that's how lightning works. Basically, expand a sphere from the point, centered at the point in the cloud where the lightning bolt is generated. Like, this is an oversimplification, but still. From the point in the cloud where the lightning bolt is generated, expand a sphere. The first thing that sphere touches as it expands is what the lightning bolt strikes. Which is why, if you are standing next to a tall building, you can never be struck by lightning. Why if you're standing next to a tall tree, you can never be struck by lightning, though it is not safe to stand next to a tall tree when there is a thunderstorm, because trees have a habit of catching fire and or exploding when struck with lightning, so you still have that to deal with, even if you personally will not be struck. I really should have put Ampharos in front. I wish my Typhlosion could learn Thunder Punch here. But alas, it cannot. My Pokemon Crystal playthrough, a Thunder Punch Typhlosion, was one of the staples of my team. Though I admit I never played Pokemon Crystal until the Virtual Console release. And even that I never played until they had already announced the shutting down of the eShop. Kinda wish that this Ribbon Road did require revisiting Gen 1 and 2. Just because. I mean, I'll definitely play them on stream at some point. That point just ain't right now. I do not currently have the excuse for it. I really should have put Ampharos in front. So I guess only for Remoraid, it's not a huge deal. Espeon can handle Remoraid, Typhlosion can handle Magnemite. It's just we've been seeing a lot of water types, and I'm remembering that this is the Mirror B segment of the Team Snag'em people, which means they've got a lot of water types. Because they gotta be like their Ludicolo-loving boss. Hopefully by Team Snag'em hideout, they don't mean all the way over in the stupid cave. That would kind of suck. Like, it is my hope that specifically this building we are in right now is what they meant. I mean, sure, we have to go through this building to get into the cave, but if he's, like, hanging out where Mirror B was, that would just be an annoying amount of legwork just to get there. Especially with all the forced battles that we cannot possibly lose. Seriously, Quagsire learns Mist and Haze at the same level? Really wish that these trainers would stop trying to battle me. I've beaten them all multiple times. They know they're not going to win. Just don't battle me. Let me go on in peace. But no, since this game doesn't have wild battles, it's got to make the trainers respawn and remain aggressive. Give me a trainer repel. Yeah, this is actually worse than the dungeons in the main series, because at least in those you can use repel when you outlevel them. But these trainers, nah, you gotta fight them every time no matter what. If they want to fight, there is no getting away. Guard, I have already accomplished what I came here for. If what you can tell me will save me time, I am all for it. Is it that I'm going to the entirely wrong place? Is the Snag'em hideout actually the secret Shadow Pokemon Lab? Because we were told Snag'em hideout, and Shadow Pokemon Lab is called Shadow Pokemon Lab, which is different. Also, it was cited in Pyrite, and this is Pyrite. So all evidence that I have points to here. And if here is not where I'm supposed to even be looking, then absolutely tell me. But yes, backseat away. Oh, so I'm going through here for no reason, am I? Oh, whoops. Ran from Terrakion instead of resetting. So the question then is, where the heck am I supposed to go? If I leave Pyrite entirely, then we run into the issue that these trainers all respawn. Though that might not actually matter. Oh, right, yeah, the Snag'em hideout would be the place from the intro cutscene, wouldn't it? Well, you know what? I'm still gonna go to the top of this building, because that's where the Remoraid that I failed to catch was. Who knows, maybe the trainer will be back now that I've cleared the story. There might still be value to this. Probably not. But there's a non-zero chance. And we take non-zero chances. Okay, yeah. Nobody here. Cool, wasted my time. Excellent. Love it. And before we go reviving any trainers, let's just heal our Pokemon here. That looks like a Snag'em hideout to me. The Remoraid's in Mirror's hideout? Well, that's a real shame, because now I'm gonna have to rebattle everyone to get back there. Also, that's the stupid cave. Okay, the Croconaws trainer is named Bluno. Cool. What useful information. The name of the trainer. Why does that matter? It doesn't matter what his name is. All that matters is that he's got a Croconaw, and I want it. Oh, you're not Bluno. I should have read his things. He said new ones. But whatever. Yeah, Outlander, it's not a case of I didn't know what was special about coming here. It was a case of I didn't know that I could come here. Yeah, I need to re-find the Remoraid and the Stantler. In addition to the Croconaw and the Bayleaf. And once I've done that, I will have all the Shadow Pokemon. Oh, you're just gone? Okay. That dude was looking at me through the wall. Aw, gee. Who knew that there would be a Shadow Tyranitar? And Mischievous and Slugma and Absol. And Heracross and Smeargle, like... Haven't I already caught actually all of those? Oh no, not Smeargle. But all the other ones he mentioned, I have actually caught. Some of which were very, very early in the game. Like, Mischievous was among the first 6 I caught, I do believe. Like, oh yeah, we looked at the list. Turns out, there's actually a Shadow Mischievous out there somewhere. Yeah, it's in my PC. Oh, there's a Shadow Tyranitar. You better look out for that. No, that's also in my PC. I do not have to look out for it. I'm going to go downstairs again real quick. Just because. Look at this guy over here. He's looking at us through the wall. When we get within a cone that he can turn his head to, he turns his head to face us, ignoring the fact that there is a wall between us. He must have a top-down view just like we do. So we can go up. But before we do, let's go down. Guard, I had heard that it was actually impossible to permanently miss any Shadow Pokemon. Redmond, sounds like you've been playing hero all over the place. Playtime's over. I'll reduce you to the same sorry state as this snag machine lab. Wow, this guy is one of the most passive trainers we've ever met. Yeah, from what I've read, every Shadow Pokemon is re-encounterable in the post-game. There are some where if you miss them, you cannot encounter them again prior to beating the game. But there are none that if you miss them once, they're gone forever. They're all re-encounterable post-game. Well, good for me. I've only gotten one chance each at Stantler and Remoraid. But I'm willing to bet there's something that you can do that sets a flag to give you additional chances beyond the second. Like how in some of the semi-modern Pokemon games, if you accidentally KO the legendary, go beat the Elite Four and it respawns. I didn't think you'd be this tough. No wonder you're famous. Ooh, Max Revives. Those are nice. Little late to be giving them to me, but they're nice. Boy, rare candies. And looks like that's all this path was for. Max revives and rare candies. So then let's go upstairs. Redmond, that's enough of your antics. Party's over. Turns out Pelipper's special attack stat isn't really enough to overcome that loss of damage to Sun. Oh man, you know what's great? When I'm playing through Emerald, I can get both Latios and Latias because I actually have 3 systems capable of playing Game Boy Advance games, so I've cleared that obstacle. Actually 4 if I count my Game Boy player. And I've got an actual e-reader with an actual Eon ticket card. I still have those. Which means I can 100% legitimately, super legit, 100%, obtained via real original methods. Like, I got the Eon ticket at San Diego Comic Con. It is a real Eon ticket. Or wait, no, I think that was the Aurora ticket that was at Comic Con. Eon ticket came from Nintendo Power, I think. Either way, I've got a real Eon ticket and a real e-reader and a real Game Boy Advance, and I can use all three of those things to activate the Eon ticket for when I'm playing through Emerald for this thing. The other tickets I can also activate, but a little bit less legitimately. I'll show you a painful time one day. Oh boy, PP ups. Hey, you the prison guard here? This place is taking a lot of damage. Even I couldn't mess the place up this badly. Huh? You telling me you did this? Then prove it to me. Show me what you can do. Well, I did it with a bomb. Or several, by the look of things, honestly. Guard, joke's on you, I already got a legit shiny Manaphy. Though, admittedly, I did take a shortcut. I got my egg from my Pokemon Ranger. Actually, it wasn't the original Ranger, it was one of the later ones. But still, I got my egg. And I used external software to check what trainer ID and secret ID would result in a shiny for that egg. And then, well, I checked things and made sure that I had it right before I bothered hatching and trading and all that. So I got to skip the whole trade hatch check every single time. It was just get trainer ID. Is it one that can give the shiny? No? Reset. So yeah, I got to do my checks a lot faster than I otherwise would have been able to. But the shiny itself is still legitimate. Came from a legitimately generated egg. And it's not like I was cheating to get the right ID or anything. I just knew what ID I was looking for. So what you're telling me, Outlander, is that you want the, color variations present in Pokemon Stadium for the N64. I guess Stadium and Stadium 2 are both for the N64, but the original US release of Pokemon Stadium. You want the additional color variations from that to be tied to the Pokemon's personality value rather than their nickname. Now I'm steamed. I'll rampage more than you. That looks too much like progress. There's gotta be some somewhere. Some Pokeballs holding awesome Pokemon. Do you have some? I mean, yeah, I guess so. I've got a Pokeball with a Metagross in it in my PC. Hard to get more awesome than that. Well, Espeon isn't a whole lot of use here. So Outlander, my problem if they had additional levels of rarity for additional levels of shininess is I'd have to collect all of them. Even collecting all the regular shinies is hard enough. Don't give me more work. Don't make my Pokemon Bank even more... Not Bank. A Pokemon Home even more choked. There aren't enough spaces for everything I want right now. I don't want to have to start subbing to a second Pokemon Home just to hold all my stuff. I'm honestly gonna have to, like, starting in Gen 10, but for now, I can still get away with just one Pokemon Home account. Also, please, Game Freak, I'll pay you, like, 50% more. Just give me 50% more slots. Let me buy additional boxes. I will pay you for them. Let me have them on one account. Where did you find those? I want some too. I found them primarily on other trainers. Like in any game other than this one, having him ask where did you find those would make more sense. But in this game, the answer is I found them on other trainers. Oh, where did that guy take off to after snagging my shadow Pokemon? Ah! Is it me? Am I that guy? Oh, we're out of PP for Psychic. Well, Espeon ain't a whole lot of use now. Thank you, ground type, for not resisting fire. Making sure the wheezing is gone before it can poison anybody. No flinch. Good. Come on, no flinch. Good. Wow, we are running out of moves. Too used to going through Mount Battle where we get our PP restored between every battle. No fair, you stinking cheat. Okay, here's the plan. The plan is Ether on Espeon Psychic, and then because we don't really have anything else, Elixir on Typhlosion. And there we go. Plan enacted. Hey, it's the guy who was looking at us through the wall. Hang on a sec. Just checking to make sure I'm not wrong here. Ah, yes. That kanji on his back does indeed effectively say thief. I never expected to see you again. Not like this, anyway. So, the people of Team Snag'em, their uniform is jackets that just say, in big, bold letters on back, thief. Which is, you know, a great way to keep a low profile. Outlander, whichever one he stole, it's clear he never went back into that shop. Given that he is still standing here. Team snag him forever. Oh, we can actually take the ball. Excuse me, those were Ultra Balls? They looked an awful lot like Pokeballs to me. So I guess we've just got a portable snag machine, and if they wanted to steal things from people before, they had to lug these around to throw snag balls at people's Pokemon? That just seems, inconvenient. Oh, hey, it's the guy. You're the guy. What? Redmond? It's been a while. Not since the mayor's house in Fenac City. You quit Team Snag'em. There's nothing here for you. Or did you come out to see me, Bluno? If that's the case, I'd better not disappoint you. Show me your Croconaw. Okay, I didn't expect you to show it to me that early, but hey, we take that. I need to make sure not to lose this Croconaw, just in case. Wow, it's a Shadow Croconaw. Who could have guessed? Okay, Espeon, you are going to swap out for Jumpluff, while Typhlosion cooks the pig. Typhlosion didn't cook the pig nearly as well as I was hoping it would. Okay, Jumpluff. Make Gator sleepy. Typhlosion, cook pig better. Nice miss, Jumpluff. This Croconaw's face is so scary. I guess the dude likes his pig. So I don't have False Swipe or anything that I can trust not to kill that Croconaw. So now that it's asleep, I think it's just a case of throw balls. Yeah, Outlander, I frequently confuse Mean Look and Scary Face. Glare is the one that I know for a fact is the paralysis one. Because it's the one Arbok does to paralyze you. Always has been. So yeah, Glare is the one that I know off the top of my head. Let's try putting this Grumpig to sleep before Typhlosion gets killed by it. And Typhlosion will throw the ball this time, and hopefully it will work. Because effectively, if this Pokeball works, or if any Pokeball works on a Pokemon that's full HP, it's a one-hit KO. And we missed. So, goodbye, Typhlosion. But it's fine. We're fine. Might have been better off using a heal instead of trying to put the Grumpig to sleep, but still. Okay, Jumpluff, you throw ball now. Catch Gator. Umbreon, eat pig. Gator caught. Put the muck to sleep. So we don't gotta deal with any poisons. Or put nobody to sleep, that's also an option, I guess. Ah, yes. Who could forget the howl of the camel? Camels are known for their howls. You hear them in the deserts at night, and you know a pack of camels is coming for you. And there we go. Victory secured. Well, at this point, Bluno, I think your Croconaw could be defeated because it was level 30. Enjoy snagging my Shadow Croconaw while you can. There's still more Shadow Pokemon trainers out there. Yeah, there are at least 4 more. Or are they going to tell me about the Bayleaf now? I analyzed the Shadow Pokemon list again and discovered 6 more. The additions are Ursaring, Skiploom, Quagsire, Tropius, Skarmory, and Sunflora. Look for more updates. There's a Shadow Quagsire and Skiploom? Oh, gee, also a Shadow Skarmory. I hope I don't come across that. It sounds like it would eat 40 Pokeballs. This kid is chronically late. Are there any other in there that I missed? Ursaring we haven't even seen yet. That's the mart, right? Sure is. I want the Pokemon Center. That's across this bridge, right? Yep, that's the PC. So I'm gonna go purify my Metagross and then call this a stream. We're gonna save right now just because. We're also going to purify some Pokemon that I already had ready to go. Actually, you know what? We've heard about there being a Shadow Slugma out there. And we were also told about a Shadow Misdreavus. I think this Suicune is also ready to go. Oh, look at that. They even gave the Metagross a metal coat. That'll keep him warm. And let's just make sure these are all, in fact, ready to be purified. Suicune is not. So, is Dunsparce ready to be purified? After all, it is a Dunsparce. We could do with it. Nope, Dunsparce is not ready to be purified. I think it's only things that are before the Plusle that will actually be ready to purify. So, Quillfish, because Quillfish is clearly important. And we definitely want it. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to purify everyone on the team right now. And, gonna save again. I don't think anything's gonna happen to us on the way to the purification site, but, like, I wouldn't put it past this game to be like, haha, now you're in post-game. You're being jumped by a guy with a team of level 70s, including an Ursaring. Good luck! Behold, a purified Yanma. Yeah, pre-Yon Mega Yanmas are just very sad. But they're not as sad as Jotonian Quillfish. And I would just like to reiterate that I am glad I got a Miss Drivus instead of a Mr. Drivus. Time Flute, I choose you! On Metagross! Okay, now I actually have to nickname this guy. Because I gotta. And here's the thing, I didn't do any thinking about what nicknames to give him. So, the last time I gave a Metagross a nickname and used it on my team, I named it Mainframe. Which was a pretty decent nickname for a Metagross, I would say. Definitely want to keep it in the computer theme. Processor is my fallback here if I can't think of anything else. Let's see. What kinds of parts and stuff do computers have? Network doesn't seem right because it's not a bug type. Doesn't learn electroweb. Honestly, Deep Blue is enticing. It would be more so if Metagross didn't become as metallic as it is in Scarlet and Violet. Like, it's less blue these days. At least it feels less blue. Could go with a Hitchhiker's Guide reference and call it Deep Mind, but that sounds more like a special attacker to me. And honestly, I'd rather name it after a part or a concept rather than something that is actually already a proper noun name. Could go MCP, but this isn't a program. Is there a name raider in Colosseum? Do I have additional chances? Yes, there is a name raider. So yeah, we'll go with processor for now. If I think of something better, we'll go with something better later on. Because there's still going to be time before this guy gets locked out of Colosseum. And now for one final check of Terrakion. Well, actually, we're going to do a few more because I need to get back to the Pokemon Center and save. And let's do one last Terrakion. Just one more. And then we'll call this a stream. And I will be, at least for a good while, done streaming Pokemon Colosseum. I might come back to it at some point to get the last things I haven't gotten yet. But yeah, this is going to be it for Colosseum for now. And I'll be back with Pokemon XD for my first time ever playing that game on Tuesday. So thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all of that. And I will be back on Tuesday for Pokemon XD. See you then, friends.